Hey guys. When we came up with the idea for Meat Fight, I was brisket high. We had just been to a friend's house for the best brisket of our lives. And hours later at our own house, we couldn't stop thinking about this brisket, right? We were like, how do we get this again in our faces? But next time, I don't want to even have to leave my own house because I'm super lazy. So we decided we would come up with a competition that we would have in our own backyard, and that way, not only would the friend who made us the amazing brisket have to bring that to us, but maybe other people would bring their amazing brisket to us too. We would need some things before we could have this amazing party. First, we would need a good name. So we came up with Meat Fight. That sounded pretty cool, sounded like something people would want to come to. Secondly, we would need trophies, because really, really important competitions have trophies. So we would need to make those. And thirdly, we would have to have a keg of beer, because you don't have a party until you have a keg. The first year was a success, and I knew it was a success when I came into my kitchen and I saw my dad fighting with one of the guys who had been in the competition. My dad had been a judge, and my friend Chris had lost. And Chris was super mad that he lost the pulled pork category, right? And he looks at my dad and he goes, I put coleslaw next to my pulled pork on my dish and you didn't even taste it. And my dad goes, Chris, this is Meat Fight, not coleslaw fight. And I learned two very important things in that moment. One, that if people could get that mad about losing our ridiculous backyard party, that maybe we had a thing here. And two, that one day I might get invited to talk to a bunch of people about it, and I could make fun of Chris for this moment, and that would be amazing. If you're starting to wonder yourself, are all of her slides gonna have a boatload of meat on them? Of course they're not. Some of them will be people dressed as meat. Some of them will be the word meat on a thing, and some of them will be beer. In 2011, we decided to have the party again, and this time it would be a fundraiser for the National MS Society. Multiple sclerosis is a cause that's close to my heart, and so it just made sense. We invited some local chefs to come judge the event, again, so that my friends would think it was cool and more people would come, leading to more brisket in my face. The party was a blast, and the chefs had a great time judging, and at the end they were like, you have to bring this party to the public, you just have to, because they wanted to compete. So we said, all right, we'll give it a shot. If we can get 4 Dallas chefs to compete in Meat Fight publicly, then we'll do it. So we asked 4 chefs, and they all said yes. So we kept asking. That year, we had 12 Dallas chefs compete in Meat Fight, and we also convinced the best pitmasters in Texas to come judge, including Aaron Franklin. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Aaron Franklin, he's barbecue Jesus. He smells of salt, pepper, and magic, and he's just like the most wonderful thing. That year in 2012, we raised $20,000 for the National MS Society, and our tickets to that event sold out in 1 hour. We were a hit. This last year, we had 750 people at Meat Fight in a dirty green barbecue warehouse in Trinity Groves, and it was amazing. And we raised a lot of money. We have 16 local chefs who now compete in Meat Fight for our glorious trophies. And we still have the most amazing judges in the world. Our tickets to this event sold out in 15 minutes, and we were able to raise $100,000 for the National MS Society and people in DFW living with MS. It's a pretty good number, right? People ask us, how does this happen? And we believe it's a very simple equation. If you get enough bearded dudes in a room with enough beer and whiskey and meat, good things like this can start to happen. People say our event is different than any event that they've ever been to. And we're not sure if it's the bacon cotton candy or the yards and yards of sausage. That's one sausage, by the way. That's one. It was Texas's longest sausage. It was super awesome. We're not sure if it's the trophies. Maybe it's the trophies that I make from scratch that are 40-ounce beer cans that have pig super glue to the top of them that I then bronze and paint Meat Fight on top of. If you're wondering, yes, there's beer in there still. We know one thing, though. We know luncheons suck. Luncheons are the worst thing. And I love lunch. Lunch is like my favorite thing besides breakfast, dinner, and snacks. I love taco lunch, I love hamburger lunch, I love burger lunch, I love all of the lunches. But something happens to lunch when you add the letters E-O-N-S to the end of it, like, it just, don't want to go. Suddenly, all these things you can't even eat have to be involved in the lunch transaction, like linens and candles and like forks. All the forks you've ever owned suddenly have to be on the table as an option to use to eat the stuff that you're going to eat. And you have to dress up, and you probably have to wear Spanx, and you have to wear makeup, and you like have to wear the right lipstick that doesn't come off on a teacup when you're drinking, because now there are teacups involved. I can't, you guys, I just can't. No, luncheons, you are the worst thing. We can do better than luncheons, all right? I swear it, I swear with all the best swear words, we can do better. Raising money for charity can be fun. You really can have fun with that. And at Meat Fight, we call that Funlanthropy. We've seen Funlanthropy work firsthand. At Meat Fight, we have a meat midway with meat-themed midway games on it, like this pork chop speedway you're seeing right here. We're raising money for charity, and people are having a blast. And it's just so easy. It's such a no-brainer. We don't have a budget for advertising, so we always sit around and think, how can we make this event ultimately Instagrammable? When you come to Meat Fight, I want you to have to take your phone out to take a picture of that bacon cotton candy. I want you to have to take a picture of all the other crazy things. And then I want you to have such a good time that you call me the next day and you're like, Alice, I don't know where my phone is. I think I lost it in a pound of brisket while I was taking pictures with Meat Santa. Did I mention that this year's theme is Merry Meatmas? Meat Santa's gonna be there in a bacon sleigh, you guys. It's gonna be fun. I think Meat Fight's different because we're built on the philosophy that we can't do this alone. It takes a meat village. You know, we have all these wonderful people who support us, and I really think it's because it's fun. We started as a fun event and then became a charity, not the other way around. And that makes us have a unique point of view for how we run this event. We're always trying to figure out how can we make it hilarious? How can we make it funny? How can we make people say, are they serious? And then we can say, yes, we're very serious. There will be meatball, skee-ball at this year's Meat Fight event. The support in this town for Meat Fight has been crazy amazing for us. The chefs put all this time into Meat Fight. They cook overnight for us. They give us fancy auction items that are ungettable things for all of our attendees. And they, I think, have a blast. The judges are so generous with us. They also give us crazy auction items. And they taste 16 competition meats for us. And they help us out so much by drinking gallons and gallons of beer and whiskey. They're so, so giving. The volunteers at Meat Fight are different than any volunteers you've ever seen. They also are so committed to our cause. They give us all of their time and energy, and they are amazing. Our volunteers pay for tickets to Meat Fight in order to volunteer for us. We currently have 85 volunteers and a wait list of people who are waiting to volunteer for Meat Fight. We didn't know that this was unusual until someone told us it was. This is just how we roll. I'm Alice Laussade, and I am the CEO of Meat Fight, Inc. And as a CEO, I really feel like I know how hard it is to be a CEO. I think that Mark Zuckerberg and I, like on a daily basis, deal with like exactly the same issues. In fact, I'm on Facebook way more than he is, so it's probably harder to be me than it is to be him. But on this meat journey, I've learned a lot of things that I feel like I could impart to anybody here today who is a meat CEO or a meat CEO hopeful. The first thing is you cannot make all the meat people happy all the meat time. You just can't. One year we thought, you know what would be awesome? What if we had a dunking booth, but instead of putting water in it, we put barbecue sauce in it? No, they won't let you. The people who own the dunking booth say that like it might mess the whole thing up and be totally gross. And even though I said, hey, I'll water it down, the vinegar's not gonna sting the eyes when they get dunked into it. No barbecue sauce. So then I said, fine, but I really want this. So what if I filled it with beer? Again, they said, no, you can't do that because I guess people would get drunk and that would be a safety issue. So we can't have it. So then we thought, okay, all right, can't have the dunking booth. What about a barbecue sauce fountain, like a chocolate fountain, only there's barbecue sauce? It would be glorious. They're like, no. What if somebody gets a rib, sticks it in there, takes a bite, and double dips? Then everybody's sick, and there's like a health code issue. I can't deny that I wouldn't do that at a meat fight, so we can't have nice things. When you're coming up with your URL for your meat company, be mindful of what you're doing there. Our URL is meatfight.com, which means my email address is alice@meatfight.com. Now, when I try to email people, sometimes I get locked up in their spam filter because they think that I am trying to offer something to them that I am not at all trying to offer to them. I'm just saying, think about it before you choose. Another important thing is to act like you're a thing before you're a thing. Let me explain that. One of these years that we were really new to the public, somebody said on our Facebook page, you know what would be awesome? Is if you got Nick Offerman to come judge Meat Fight. Now, if you're unfamiliar with who Nick Offerman is, he played a guy named Ron Swanson on television's Parks and Rec. He has a mustache and a beard. He's like basically our target demographic in a person. He loves bacon, right? Just the perfect thing. So I was like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. So I just tweeted at Nick Offerman, hey, you should come judge Meat Fight, and was like, send, that'll never happen. An hour later, I had an email from his publicist saying, hi, Nick saw your tweet and thought it would be really cool to come judge Meat Fight. The thing is, he thinks it's in Chicago, we think it's in Dallas, but we can't go to your website because it's blocked by our spam filters as unsavory material. So I just need you to confirm for me that this is not unsavory material. I said, no, I assure you, our website is food porn, not porn. And she said, great, if you could just get with your board of directors and talk to them and see if it's cool, then we'll have a good time. So I talked to my board of directors. I called my husband. I was like, oh my God, Nick Offerman might come judge Meat Fight. And he was like, oh my God. So then I emailed her back. I said, hey, I think I have the proper approvals. And that year we had Nick Offerman judge Meat Fight. It was super awesome. At Meat Fight, we're destroying apathy with meats. I have a lot of friends who will like a post on Facebook or share a post that says, rock the vote, and then they don't go vote. That's not activism. We're trying to get our volunteers to really be involved with Meat Fight and really do something. And we're actually doing that, and it's really cool to see everybody get so involved. Meat Fight is fighting MS with sausage nunchucks, with meat cleavers, with brisket and whiskey and everything we've got. Maybe because we're such a weird event, we're not scalable. Maybe because we're so unusual, we're hard to explain. But in my experience, when you're doing something that's hard to explain, that means you're doing something new. And that makes me so excited, I really gotta go get some brisket right now. Whatever you guys are doing, whatever cause you support, whatever event you're running, please do it. And have fun while you're doing it, for the love of everything meaty. Thank you guys so much.